I can recall a time recently that I was asked to come to UNC Chapel Hill and speak for one of their sororities, a large event concerning domestic violence. And the questions that they asked me several questions, but the two that stick out was, number one, were there any signs in the early stages of the relationship of violence, or was there anything that gave you any kind of indication? And the second question was, what made you finally decide to leave? And I remember those questions, and it sticks out in my mind because, yes, the answer to the question number one, yes, there were red flags in the relationship. We were in a dating situation, and I was abused in that dating situation. And they asked me, well, why didn't you leave? Why didn't you just get out of that situation? And I have to explain to them that in the cycle of domestic violence, there's called the honeymoon stage. And after the abuser has hurt you or harmed you, there's the tears, there's the flowers, there's the candy, there's the I'll never do it again. If you don't leave me, I'll never do it again. There's the promises. And when you love someone, you want to believe that they're going to change and that it will never happen again. So that's the reason why I stayed. And the second question was, what made you finally decide to leave? And I can remember that day just like it was yesterday. I remember after being beaten and kicked into a closet, and when I finally came to my senses and realized and got myself together, and I looked over to the side and saw my 6-month-old baby in her carrier, and I realized this is not the life that I wanted for my child, because it's not the life that I had lived with my parents. I realized that it was time for me to go, but I did not just up and leave and walk away. I planned. I put my plan into action. I did what I needed to do, and I left that situation, and I did it in a safe way for both me and my child. So I would like to be able to educate people on the cycles of domestic violence, everything that takes place, and how to help people get out of that situation safely.